Somewhere in Kenya, an elephant is standing at the edge of a clearing, and she is trying to decide something. There's an arrow in her side. A poacher put it there. She can't reach it, and she can't pull it out. In front of her is a cluster of low buildings with people moving around them. The same kind of people who shot her. Every instinct she has says run. Fear of us isn't a mood for an elephant. It's built in, layered down over millions of years, and reinforced by every relative she's ever lost. And she walks toward the buildings anyway. She stops. She stands still. And she waits for the thing she's supposed to run from to put its hands on her. That's the part worth explaining. Not she trusted them. Something in that animal's head overruled one of the strongest survival instincts in nature on purpose while she was hurt and afraid. So what does that take? It turns out you don't need to go to Kenya to see how it works. You might have it happening in your backyard. Let's start with cats. If you've ever fed a stray, you might already know where this is going. Because feeding a stray sometimes gets you a very strange gift. One morning, there are kittens on your porch. She carried them there, one at a time, and she left them with you. Here's the important detail. She didn't take them to a random person. She took them to you. Cats are watching us far more carefully than we notice. A stray cat living near your house is running a long, quiet evaluation of everyone in the neighborhood. Who moves slowly? Who leaves food out? Who yells? Who chases her off with a broom? She's not judging humans as a species. She's sorting them one by one. And after enough calm, boring, uneventful weeks, you get moved into a different column. Not safe animal exactly. More like, this one has never once been a problem. That's when the kittens show up. Not because she thinks you're magic. Because you passed a background check you didn't know you were taking. Sit with that. Because it's the whole idea in miniature. To that cat, humans is not one category. It's a list of individuals, and she has been keeping notes. Now dogs, which are the easy version of the same story. Ask anyone who's had a dog give birth at home. Very often, the mother will pick up her puppies and bring them to her owner. Sometimes she'll carry them across the house one by one and set them down at that person's feet, like she's filing paperwork. For a wild animal, that would be insane. Handing your newborns to a large predator is how your bloodline ends. But dogs aren't quite playing the same game we've been describing. We've been living alongside them for something like 15,000 years, and we shaped each other the whole way. Somewhere deep in a dog's head, humans stopped being a threat to survive and became something closer to family, the ones you cooperate with, share food with, and raise young around. So when a mother dog brings you her puppies, she isn't overcoming her instincts, she's following them. We're inside the circle. That's the entire point of what a dog is, which is exactly why dogs aren't the mystery. They're the control group. Because if a dog does this, fine, we've had 15,000 years to earn it. But an elephant that has never been anyone's pet, walking toward the species that shot it, that needs a real explanation. And before we get to the good ones, we need to throw out the bad ones. Because if you go looking for these stories online, most of what you'll find isn't true. Humans are pattern-finding machines with a soft spot for being the hero. Show us an animal near us with a baby, and our brain skips right past the boring explanations and lands on the flattering one. It came to me. It chose me. Usually, it didn't. Most of the time, a wild animal that shows up near you with its young is not asking for anything. It's warning you. You are standing too close to something it loves, and it's telling you to back off in the only language it has. People get seriously hurt every year because they read a threat as a heartwarming introduction. And sometimes it's not about you at all. It's den flooded. Its usual path is blocked. There's a predator on the other side, and you're simply the least frightening thing left in a bad situation. You weren't chosen. You were settled for. So how do you tell a real case from a story we told ourselves? There's one simple question, and every believable case passes it. Did it cost the animal something? Running away is free. Staying is expensive. Did it stay when it could have left? Did it hold still while a predator's hands were on it? Did it come back to the same place a second time on purpose? When an animal pays that price, something real is going on. Which brings us back to the elephants, because they do come back. At wildlife sanctuaries in Kenya, keepers have described wounded elephants walking in on their own, sometimes carrying poachers' arrows and standing quietly to be treated. Not once. As a pattern, mothers have been described, leading keepers to a calf in trouble and then stepping back to let people work. And here's the detail that turns it from a miracle into something you can actually understand. Those elephants aren't wandering up to random humans. They're arriving at one specific place where humans have treated elephants before. That's not faith. That's an address. It's the same thing the cat was doing, just with a much bigger brain and much higher stakes. Research on animal minds has shown that plenty of species can recognize individual people and change their behavior based on which one they're looking at. Crows are the famous example. A crow will remember the specific face of someone who wronged it for years, and somehow the other crows find out too. So flip that around. If an animal can pick one human out as dangerous, it can pick one out as harmless. And an animal that has learned this place, these hands, this outcome is working from completely different information than the same animal 100 miles away. Now let me cool this off, because there's a version that has nothing to do with liking us at all, and it might be the most honest one. We are terrifying, and that's useful. In some places, prey animals deliberately stay close to humans, near roads, near buildings, near us, because the big predators that hunt them avoid people. Researchers sometimes call it the human shield effect. The deer isn't fond of you. The deer has worked out that whatever eats deer won't come near you, which makes standing next to you the safest spot available. Now think about a mother with a newborn. She doesn't need to like you. She needs a bodyguard, and you're the scariest thing for miles. That's not affection, that's strategy. And there's one more piece, which is almost embarrassingly simple. Some problems an animal physically cannot solve. A hoof can't cut a fishing net. A trunk can't pull out a barbed arrowhead. But we have these strange, precise grabbing hands, and a few animals have apparently noticed that the creatures with the hands have fixed exactly this kind of problem before right here. That's not blind trust. That's going to a specialist. And here's the fact that proves the whole thing by never happening. None of this shows up everywhere. In heavily hunted populations, in places with real conflict between people and wildlife, in species we've spent generations persecuting, you see none of it. Zero. Those animals have run the same numbers, and the answer came back: run. That's the tell. If animals simply sensed goodness in us, it would happen all over the world. It doesn't. It happens almost only where there's a long, boring history of humans not being the worst, and where the animal has enough memory to notice. So it isn't a gift, it's a track record. Which takes us back to the elephant at the edge of the clearing. She isn't standing there because elephants can feel kindness in the air. She's standing there because she's in serious trouble. She can't fix it herself, and somewhere in a very good memory is one specific place where this exact injury got dealt with and nothing bad happened afterward. She's weighing an arrow against an instinct, and the instinct is losing on the evidence. We are the most dangerous animal that has ever lived. We are also, in a few places on this planet, the only hospital for 100 miles. Both of those are true at once, and a small number of animals have worked out which one they're looking at. That's the real lesson here. The ones who come to us aren't being naive. They're being observant. They watched, they remembered, and they made a call. And the cat on your porch and the elephant in Kenya are doing the exact same thing at wildly different scales. Both of them kept score. Both of them decided you, specifically, were probably fine.
Please like and subscribe for more content like this. We really appreciate your support.